This podcast is created by Home Build Zambia to help you as you start and manage your home building project. The podcast is for educational purposes only. Seek professional advice to get specific help for your project. Enjoy this week's show.
Welcome to an architect and a DJ builder home podcast. I'm the DJ.
And I'm the architect.
This is our second take.
Yeah.
And on today's episode, we're looking at your home and specifically personality and style in your home. Yeah, we have a lot to say about that. We've touched a bit on that in our previous, one of our previous episodes, I think. But today we're looking at it in more detail. But before we get into that, as always, we have our music trivia. I'm the one who's supposed to give the clue.
Yep.
Right? Okay. The clue for our trivia for today, our song trivia, is that it's a song. I'm going to make this really simple because usually I tend to make it very hard. It's a song that was done by the husband to the late Whitney Houston. You already know who it is if you know your music. And it's a song that he did that talks about how can we say? Independence? I'm practically giving it away. About doing his own thing.
Easy. That's really easy.
Yeah, about doing his own thing. So think the late Whitney Houston's husband, a song where he's talking about, hey, doing his own thing. Very simple, man. You should get, if you know your music from, that was what, the late 80s?
Yeah.
You should know the answer. Let us know. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get into personality and style in your home.
So we've been talking about where is it that you start when you are building your own home. And one of the things we talked about in the initial episodes was your vision and goals and how that's important to take some time to think through and define. Because I think what a lot of people tend to assume is that when they go to an architect, the architect is a mind reader, so they'll be able to just put down on paper everything that they want.
And I think we've said this in every episode we've done in this season. Yeah.
You have to know what it is that you want, and if you don't know what you want, you need to spend a bit of time to figure it out, because what you want will be the thing that will direct everything that goes on your journey. So today we talk in particular about personality and style. And these are kind of like, they're connected with your values, they're connected with your views on life, they're connected with who you are, the essence of you as a person. So if you're building a house as an individual, you'll be thinking about what is it about me that I want to be reflected in my home, and how is it that I want that to be reflected. So I think they're kind of interconnected, because your style, your personal style, will actually reflect an essence of you. And sometimes when we talk about style, we rush to the aesthetics. Okay, let me look at a nice magazine. Let me feel, I want this. I want this.
I'll go with this.
Yeah, and many times what we do is that we pick on trends, and then after that season goes,
there's another trend.
There's another trend, but then
you're stuck.
You're stuck with this thing that you thought you liked, and But when you're looking at making a home, you want something that connects with who it is that you are, and that I think is more lasting than moving with trends.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Because from what I've seen, and I could be wrong, from what I've seen here, by here I mean in Zambia, the few houses, I've been to a number of houses, maybe more than a few. Do you think it's in us when it comes to when we're building, for us to express who we are in our homes. Do you think we've gotten there yet?
I think it feels like, especially when I've dealt with clients before, it feels like we're waiting for permission to express who it is that we are. And the thing with building your own home, it's actually your own home. So you can decide how it is that your personality, your lifestyle, the things that you identify with, you can decide how that comes out in your home. But usually what happens is someone will come with a picture. I want this. give me this.
This is the house I want.
This is the house that I want. But then you're picking something that someone else defined for themselves. And the really good examples that you see, you actually see quite a variety of personality, of creativity, of people stretching the architects to say that, no, look, this is how I want it reflected. So I think we struggle a little bit with expressing ourselves. We were having a discussion about it and how we were saying that maybe it's a generational thing.
Yes.
And perhaps the younger generation are doing it much better than us who have
older folk. And it's true, because I was saying that from our generation, I don't see a lot of that in when it comes to our homes. Those in our age who have gone on to build their own houses. You don't tend to see a lot of them or themselves expressed in their homes. It's always a thing. I mean, I've been to certain houses, and I was saying this to you, where you walk in and it's a beautiful house. I mean, it's gorgeous. I mean, everything's very nice, but there's something you don't see the owners reflected in the house. In the house. It's I mean, everything is in the right place. Nice interior, nice chairs, nice. The fittings are beautiful, but there's a disconnect. And it's like you walk in, it's something like in a magazine or a movie. But there's that.
I think the
thing is not there.
Just as you were talking, I just had this thought that I think one of the other things with building a home and how you decorate it is it's also kind of like a status symbol, like saying, "Oh, I've arrived." So some people use the process as a way of showing, we are here. So it may not necessarily reflect them, but it's reflecting an idea that if you are at this level, in order to say I've arrived, you've got a house that maybe looks like the fancy houses in South Africa. Or you've got a house that looks like the fancy houses we see in America. It would be nice to see what does a modern Zambian home look like. Based on how we live. Like, I'll give you an example, and I think I was talking about it with you yesterday. Like some housing estates, like say for instance in South Africa, you have a housing estate where you've got an open plan arrangement. The kitchen is tiny, but it's not practical for the way that we live. And sometimes you get that design that's brought out from this particular lifestyle where you're not using, that pot that has been handed down from generations to generations that you don't want everybody to see. But then in these tiny ornament-like kitchens, there's nowhere to put it. And then you find that this design is duplicated here, like, because it looks nice. But then it doesn't work with the way we live. So I think like a really good starting point is just interrogating, like, okay, how do I live? How do I live? What do I value? We value having family around. We value connection. How will that come out in our homes? There are people who value a life where you're not collecting lots of things. You want a few, simplicity, a few important pieces. Then that would be the thing that you bring to the table. That, look, this is what I'm looking at. Then the design phase. The design phase is a way of finding different solutions that will match that.
So,
Yeah.
again, and this is something I've asked before.
Yeah.
Because those who are venturing into building a home, a lot of times, they're doing it for the first time.
Yeah.
They don't know any better.
Yeah.
So shouldn't it be on the architect, the person designing the house?
Yeah.
I mean, you're an architect.
Yeah.
Did they teach you at architecture school that when a client comes to you, you need to explain to them that, listen, this house that I'm building for you, I mean, of course, we're talking about if it's a residential house, that you need to explain to them that, listen, you need to guide me on what you want.
Yeah.
Do architects do that when dealing with their clients?
There are some architects that do. There are some architects who will say, I'll just do what the client wants.
Okay.
Yeah, the client has told me, the client is the one who's paying me. I'll do what the architect wants.
The client wants.
Oh yes, what the client wants, sorry. I'll do what the client wants. And then that's what the person gets.
Okay.
I think, so we are taught to understand a brief, and then we are given skills to be able to give our clients solutions.
Okay.
So my role is to give different solutions based on the brief I've received, and to just go through this process with a client to be able to say, this is what you said, these are the options that you have, you've told me your budget is this, you can achieve it in this way, or if you want to do this, this is what it will mean. But the process has to start with what the client wants.
Okay.
So the more the client is able to express, the better the process will be for me. Where the client can't do it, I've now got to ask questions.
Bring it out.
Yes, I've got to bring it out, because it's I'm supposed to be giving a solution to the client's way of life. There are, like, each architect has a different design style, and their creative process will look different, and even how they'll come up with a solution will look different. And what you want to do is, before hiring someone, you want to say, this is what I want to do. How can I assess how you interpret what I want to do? Can I look at your work? You ask questions. So what did this client want, and how did you interpret it? Give me examples, guide me through. Yeah.
I remember, and I've mentioned this before in, again, previous episodes, when you used to design for residential.
Yeah.
She doesn't do that anymore.
No.
I remember you would always give, if you were dealing with a couple, you give each couple, you give them those questionnaires.
Yes.
To fill in about, and they were very personal. As in, basically what you were trying to do is bring out what they liked, their preferences. You know.
Yes. Because sometimes you and like I said, I don't know if it's our culture. I don't know if it's the context we're in. Sometimes you do have to help people to say, okay, what do you like? Can I get a sense?
We won't say.
No,
we wait until we're asked, and if we're not asked, we'll just keep quiet.
Yeah. So it's, but it's important that is expressed, and it's important that even before you start, you engage that side of things. It's not saying you say what your home should be like, but it's saying, what are you about? What do you like? And like you mentioned, the questionnaire. So some of the questions would be, give me images that give me a sense of what your style is. So it could even be a painting, it could be a sculpture that you have that you're drawn to. And a good architect will ask you questions and pull that out of you. But you can engage with it on your own. You can say, okay, yeah, what do I like? What are my values, and what do I want reflected in my home? What do I want when people come into my home? What do I want them to feel? And that could be, you want them to feel comfortable. So then you'll be looking for a solution, because maybe you are the type of person who, you bring people together. You like them to be themselves in your space. Maybe your home is for you to retreat and relax. So what does that look like? Yeah.
How far are you allowed to go when it comes to expressing yourself in your home? Because take for instance, say I like pink, purple, and green. Am I allowed to bring that out in the interior of my house?
You can do what you like. You can do what you like.
There is no.
But then so like, I don't think I think we put the limitations on ourselves. It's your personal space, and you decide what it is that you want to do. Where you're a family unit, you're not the only person who's making the decisions. So then you'll have to come to an agreement. So you'd have to agree with me, and we'd have to say, okay, how can we cater for this pink,
purple,
pink and green, which he doesn't even like, by the way. So he's just he's exaggerating. I'm probably the one who would bring in bright colors.
Yes.
Yeah, but you then figure out, like, okay, what's the best way to do it?
Okay.
But the planning process, and it doesn't cost you anything to do this. So the planning process is one way you can just bring out all the wild ideas, and then as you go along, they can be filtered and funneled through. Okay, what can you afford? What are your options based on the budget that you have? What are your options based on your site? What are your options based on the regulations, for instance? But it's up to you, I think.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that makes sense. So in summary, when it comes to personality and style in your home, what are we saying?
What we're saying is, building your own home is a really good opportunity for you to express it. And don't let go of that opportunity by not taking the time to figure out what it is that you want. And don't miss out on the opportunity by just looking at what other people have done and then saying, okay, that's what I want. If you're going to do that, ask yourself, why do I like this? Which parts of this do I like? Take some time to define what it is you want, so that when you invest your money in building your home, you'll get a result that you are connected with. And because you're connected with it, it will be something that will be lasting.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So in conclusion, in this episode, what we're saying, when it comes to building your home, dare to be you.
Yeah. That's really good.
Good.
He's good.
We'll talk to you in the next episode. Thanks for watching.
Yeah. An Architect and a DJ Build a Home podcast is a Home Build Zambia production, recorded and produced in Lusaka. The show is hosted by Kalenga, he's the DJ, and me, Mphangela, I'm the architect. Video recording by Sharon Malama, music by Bless the Creative, technical support provided by Bless the Creative. You can find us on Instagram at home_build_Zambia, or on our website, homebuildzambia.com, or contact us by email, podcast@homebuildzambia.com. Thank you for listening.